Assalamu alaikum, welcome to 9 p.m. English News edition brought to you in live by Rtd Chaine. The headlines. The Minister of Ministry exposed the activities report since 2016 to 2017. German anti-capitalist manifestation and anti-G20 in Hamburg. That was the top stories, and now welcome to the national news. Egyptian delegation of top level has participated in the 4th July last day ceremony of commemoration of the 40th anniversary of almost 1,200 Ethiopian citizens, especially in Harar, who took part for this event. The Egyptian delegation was led by the President of the National Assembly, Mr. Mohammed Ali Hamad, in attendance including the Consulate of Djibouti to the city of Dirdeba, Mr. Aden Musa Are. Have attended this major event the Ethiopian President Dr. Malatu Teshome and the President of the province of Hirado, Murad Abdul Hadi, in addition to the President of the Somali region in Ethiopia, Mahmoud Omar Abdullah, as well as a dozen of the population Harar and of the province of Harido. Different groups of artists were there. The participation of the delegation Egyptian to this opportunity has reflected the good relation between Djibouti and Ethiopia. In his speech of this occasion, the President of the Parliament of Djibouti, Mohammed Ali Hamad, has expressed his satisfaction to participate in this celebration devoted to commemorate the 1010th anniversary of the city of Harar. He has submitted to the government and the people of Ethiopia to congratulate, praising the history of the city of long date. A ministerial delegation of Somaliland in working visit to Djibouti conducted by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Somaliland government, Dr. Said Ali Shure, was received yesterday, Tuesday, 6 July 2017, by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf. The ministerial delegation led by Dr. Said Ali Shure, including to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Trade and the Minister of National Education, the Minister of Livestock, the Minister of Youth and Sport, of the Minister responsible for the relations with the Parliament. In the course of the interview, the leader of the diplomats of the Somaliland thanked his counterpart of Djibouti for the welcome and the hospitality extended to him and his delegation in Djibouti. The discussion have focused on the ways and means of strengthening the relation of friendship and cooperation between Djibouti and Somaliland. In this regard, a cadre the cooperation in Parliament. A ministerial delegation of Somaliland on tour to visit of cooperation to Djibouti has been received this afternoon by the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, in the presence of this two technical advisor. The delegation Somaliland was composed of the Minister of Youth and Sports, His Excellency Abdulrazak Wapuri, of the Minister of Education, His Excellency Haban Abdullahi, the Minister of Parliamentarian, His Excellency Ali Hamoud, the Minister Ambassador, His Excellency Hussein Kawali, the Ambassador of Somaliland in Djibouti, His Excellency Abdi Fattah Saeed Ahmed. The delegation thanked the Secretary of State for having organized this meeting, to which they were much honored. Also, the Minister of Somaliland have in turn referred to the importance of a good cooperation between the education sectors and that of the youth and sports. It was in this sense raise awareness of young people on the practice of sport for the maintenance of good physical condition. The Minister of Youth Somaliland also recalled the value assistance received from the Secretary of State at the time, or he was the Secretary General of the Federation of Djibouti of Football. He thanked thereafter greatly that he had the needs of persons like him, mindful of the well-being of the young people. The Secretary of State has said with respect to him that he was very honored by this visit and they were needed to combine the two departments in charge of the question of youth, the two countries brother and friends that are Djibouti and Somaliland. That to consolidate this relation, it was necessary to sign a partnership agreement. Youth represent the future of the country and the world in the general, and that should receive the attention to deserve in accordance with the policy of His Excellency Mr. Ismail Murgali. The department delegated to the Minister of the Interior responsible for decentralization has exposed this beginning of weekend its reports activities during the course of this year 2016 to 17, the turn of round table which has grouped the international interministerial commission voice in reportage. Contrary to the idea spread within the population of Djibouti, the idea of decentralization is not recent, but it is taken into account as soon as the accession of the country has the national dividends. Since a little more than a year, the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Murgali, has entrusted and that the care to carry out the decentralization in the Republic of Djibouti. The meeting this Tuesday was to synthesize the work carried out by the department delegate in charge of decentralization. It was in 5 acts of work that make up the activity report from the Ministry of Decentralization, which is the presentation of the department and to know its file of action and its jurisdiction. And the second is achievement as well as the difficulty facing the department. The third is the prospect in the short time and medium term. This department has formation of the implementation of state policy in the area of decentralization and administrative, and it is thereafter allotted the sign and the implementation of the national policy in terms of decentralization. The division with the department concerned the policy of decentralization of their administration. The minister delegate to the Minister of the Interior responsible for decentralization, Mr. Mohammed Aramisi, has in his speech presented the journey of his department and highlighted the major themes. They explain he will also the matter for all, but also to better understand the challenge that they still face after the summer break received that announcement well loaded but contact. The Ethiopian delegation in the Afar region has been accompanied throughout his trip by the technical advisor to the Prime Minister Abdulkader Kamil and Mr. Ali Hamid Hassan. In an intervention, Mr. Ali Hamid Hassan has said that the visit, the Ethiopian delegation intervenes at the time of the work of the party are realized on the road in Finnish. The Ethiopian delegation led by Mr. Hassan is coming to see the situation of this infrastructure that will create opportunities not only for the Djiboutian but also the region of Tijura. It's also in particular the Afar region with the start of activities on the North Corridor Tijura Mikkel, which will be completed. The term by the railway economic development will be considerable for the region of Tijura and also for the other region of Djibouti and even the national level. The integration between the two countries will strengthen with the North Corridor Tijura Mikkel. Mr. Ali Hamed and the Ethiopian delegation led by the Mr. Hassan Abdulkader is partly satisfied with this visit in Tijura.
To people relation between our two countries. So today I'm very happy to see the progress of this road, and the delegation has already seen it, and I'm part of that delegation, and it is fantastic. road, and upon completion it will develop the port of Djibouti, the town of Djibouti, and this area, and as well as our country. So it's very interesting, and I'm very happy about it. Yeah, it will continue the railway to the northeastern part of Ethiopia. There is also, besides this road, there will be railway construction to be undertaken. Now in Ethiopia it is going well, and hopefully it will be completed in the coming 1 or 2 years and become operational. And we expect also the same from the port of Tajura to Mekelle in the northern part of Ethiopia.
In the framework of autonomy of women and the strengthening of the community, the Department of Women and the Family continue the tour to raise awareness among the associations of women in sectors and the crave and the which converting themselves into cooperative. The team of department is collocated since the 4th July 2017 in Arta Place Shiva in the region. The project team is composed of the coordination the Mr. Abdulrazak Ahmed Idris, Mr. Hassan Ismail Durar, framework of the Mrs. Rahu Ali Consultant, and Mr. Muhammad Khadar Yusuf Hufene. These are the 3 other women members of the 3 associations which have their seats in Arta and in Wea, which during the days of the 4 and 5 July 2017 have benefited from a awareness on the management of cooperative, and particularly on the benefit of having a cooperative generator income rather than a simple association which is punishing lucrative for the activities that they exerce. This association have been identified by the Minister of Women and the Family during a first mission in the region in the month of July 2016. The drive for autonomy of women and strengthening the community built by the Department of Women and the Family is funded by the USA with the technical support of UNFD. Its objective is helping the women and empower economically and live decently of their generating activities of income. The workshop to raise the awareness of 5 July 2017 on the management of the corporation is co-chaired by Association Warden of the region, Mr. Mohammed Fawzi Ahmed, and the President of the Regional Council, Mr. Ilmi Pouh. In the framework of the festivity of the commemoration of the 14th anniversary of the independence of our country, the Ambassador Permanent Representative of Djibouti to the United Nations and Switzerland in Khadra Ahmed Hassan is organized a reception at the headquarters of the World Intellectual Property Organization. This reception was held in 5 July 2017 with the participation of the ambassador, diplomats, senior officials of international organizations to the Geneva, but also to the Jewish diaspora. In his speech to the he addressed of his guests, Khadra Ahmed Hassan has held to recall by way of introduction to the accession of Jewish to the independence. Few people had admitted on the sustainability of our country and that the wellness of the Jewish was decisive for our existence as a nation, and this thanks to the foresight of our political leaders. She has furthermore highlighted the tireless effort and the money investment in favor of the economic development of Djibouti initiated by the head of state, Mr. Osman Margele, during these past years, as well as the proven potential of our country in terms of activities of regional integration and its ambition to become a hub regional logistic. In addition, Mrs. Hodra, the Ambassador of Djibouti to Switzerland, stressed the responsible and constructive role of our military diplomacy, who assume broadly is a share of collective responsibility in the face of multiple threats such as terrorism and violence, extremism, piracy, climate change, the humanitarian crisis. Finally, the Ambassador welcomed the excellent bilateral relation between Djibouti and Switzerland, who was one of the first first countries to recognize our young state on the same day of this accession to independence on 27 June in 1977. In effect, this relation with the host country continues to consolidate the two events. The official visit to Switzerland for the first time, the President of the National Assembly of Djibouti, which indicated the clear desire of mutual beneficial cooperation that harping of the strengthening of bilateral relations between Djibouti and Switzerland. Finally, she was praised of the strong Djiboutian, the portion of the ancient story and current of Djibouti, as well as the culture and the diversity of its community that took place at this event. Moving on to the international news, those injured in anti-G20 clashes in Hamburg. Their Stockland welcome to hell. Hundreds of black-clad anti-capitalist protesters have clashed with police in Hamburg ahead of a two-day G20 summit, as the leaders of world's richest countries became holding formal meeting on Tuesday evening, July 6. Thousands of protesters from around Europe poured into the German port city to join the main demonstrations. The G20 might have so far failed to solve the key issues threatening world peace. Around 75 police officers were injured in the skirmishes, which went on until midnight. Several cars were torched and shop windows smashed. Police dispersed the crowd with the water cannons and pepper spray. Authorities expected 1,000 people from around Europe to join demonstration against this might, among them. That's it for tonight's news. Thanks for joining us and have a very wonderful evening.